Heard you don't mess with Shireen no more. Smoking that Jane no more. How you gon' up with this change on, bro? Fall back. Don't take it personal. That what you call that?
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19.
Read.
He showed his word unto Jacob.
No, he showed his word. When God said he showed his words, what is he applying? What is God's words? Where can we find God's words? Where can we find God's words?
It's not in the commandments.
Huh?
Commandments.
The Bible.
That's right.
This is God's words. To know about God, to learn about God, we have to dig in his book. When he said he showed his word, I show my writings. To all this prophet. Read again.
He showeth his word unto Jacob.
You from Jacob, tribe to Benjamin. I believe you are the youngest sons of Jacob. That's correct?
Yes, sir.
When his brother, sold Joseph, because Joseph and you are the same mother. Jacob has to, lean on his youngest son because he was an old man. Because the other, brother, they were, grown men. Read that again.
He showed his word unto Jacob.
He showed this word, everything that he's saying in his Bible to us.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
God said, I show my laws, statutes, and what?
Judgments.
Judgment, meaning when you go against those laws, judgment is the penalty. Because God said, don't do this. If you do this, this is the penalty. That he called it judgment. Read.
He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as far as his judgments, they have not known them.
So you understand now why the other nation can do the same thing that we do, but the judgment is different. Sometimes they barely get any judgment. Why? Because God only gives the laws to us to keep. Right. The same way you have your son, you have rules and regulations in your house. When you say, son, when it's come to this time, I don't want to see you outside playing soccer, basketball with your friend, because it's 8 p.m. I want to see your behind home. But if you come outside, you see him play with a group of kids, are you gonna pull your belt and start whipping every kid of the neighborhood? No, you're gonna deal with your son. That's because right. He's the one that you say you give his your rules, right? It's the same with our Heavenly Father. You understand? Bring it out. So let's show him quickly how we know you're Israel, because I know you have to go. Deuteronomy 28 and 1 and then 15. Remember, so far we try to paint the picture to tell you next time when you open this Bible to read it with the open eyes, to know that you read about myself, my forefather, my foreparent. We're talking about David, Jeremiah, King Solomon, Moses, Saul, which is from the same tribe. Saul was the first king of Israel. King Saul. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass.
This is after Moses. God used Moses to remove us from Egypt, and we're in the wilderness. God said, okay, I'm gonna make an agreement with you. This is the agreement. Israel, read.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Hearken means listen. God said, if you truly listen to the things that I'm about to list to you,
to observe and to do all his commandments,
and you do all God's commandments,
which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high, above all nations of the earth.
What did God just say? So why today our people are fighting for equality? It's because we don't know who we are in this book. God said, if we were to listen and do his laws, I will put you above, not some. Read it up front again.
I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high, above all nations of the earth.
Today we're fighting for equality. We're holding hands, equality. We're fighting to drink water in the same freaking water fountain as the white man. It's the same freaking water. It's the same water.
Right.
But because we become so low, we're fighting to drink in the same fountain of water. Is it a different water? Was it different from the color? The fountain that said color? It's the same water. But because we feel so low, we don't know who we are. We're fighting to be equal. But God said you're above all of them. But are we above today? So we're not above. Something happened. Verse 15.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken.
God said, there's going to be a time, if you don't listen,
if thou wilt not hearken,
hearken means listen,
unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
read,
to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
God said, if we don't listen to his laws and statutes and commandment, I'm gonna put curses on you. Curses is a good thing or a bad thing? A bad thing. Verse 32.
Verse 32.
Since you have sons, is it the only child?
No, 4.
You got 4. Think about it. In the time of slavery, tell us who those things happened to. Read.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
God said, your sons and daughters gonna give to another people. When did that happen?
Slave
Read verse 41. Read verse 41. Because you probably think when your sons and daughter was giving to another people, maybe he was giving to someone that's gonna put him in college for you.
Right here.
Probably gonna put him in prestigious, college, good food, good clothes, good, way of living, right? Verse 41.
Verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters.
God said you're gonna give birth to sons and daughters. You're gonna give birth to sons and daughters.
But thou shalt not enjoy them.
God said you're not gonna enjoy those kids. Why?
For they shall go into captivity.
They're gonna go into slavery.
That's right.
That's what it means that sons and daughters shall be given into another people. Who did that happen to? To us, our people. When you know a slave story and you see some of the movies, they take the kids from the parents, they send them, to some other friends or family member from another state, and you never see your sons and daughters again.
That's right.
Never. Finish it.
Bring it out.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them.
You know what it means? Your eyes is failing, longing for that child, because all you can do is crying. You cannot fight master. You cannot take in gun to master. Otherwise, you'll be put to death. It will be a total loss if you have, like you say, you have 4 kids. If you try to fight master now to save that one that he's gonna ship to different state, now you put your life in jeopardy to put to death. Now the 3 left doesn't have a father. The 3 left doesn't have a mother. That's why he said your eyes is failing, longing for that child. Read.
And fell with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thy hand.
And we have no power, no military, no financial might. Verse, the woman. You have what's the verse again? Picture the wife. 41? No.
Verse 30.
Verse 30. This is your wife, right? Tell me when that happened. Who did that happen to? Read.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 30.
What we're showing you those curses or those bad things God said will happen to those people if they don't listen to my Lord's statute and commandment. You telling me if that happened to other race of people or those people we're looking at this right here? Read.
Thou shalt betroth a wife.
God said you're gonna betroth a wife. Do you know what it means to betroth a wife? Huh? Given. Yeah. What's the modern term we use today? What is modern term? Modern term we use today. How do you say it again? Fiancé. You say, oh, she's my engaged. That's the word, engaged. That's the modern term today. Read it again.
Thou shalt betroth a wife.
You're gonna engage or promise to a woman or a man.
And another man shall lie with her.
What's gonna happen?
And another man shall lie with her.
They said this is gonna be your wife. But the Bible said even before you sleep with this woman, another man gonna sleep with that woman. Who that happened to him? When that happened? When when that happened and who that happened to. You are. I'm bringing your slavery back into your memory. In slave time, what happened? Have you seen the movie 12 Years of Slaves? Oh no, The Butler. The Butler. Do you see a movie called The Butler? Butler. The slave, okay. Every time you watch a slave movie, what happened to the women with the slave master? Sleep with those women.
That's right.
In The Butler, yeah. That sister, what's her name again? Mariah Carey playing that movie. He was the wife of a man, and the son of the slave master just grabbed his wife in front of him and in front of his son and go to the cottage and whip her.
That's right.
The husband hearing her screaming, his son hearing his mother screaming, and then the guy coming out fixing his pants. And then the son said, come on, Dad, you're not gonna do anything? And then if you saw the movie, he just looked at the slave master and said, man, meaning what you just did to my wife. That's what he said, hey man, what do you think happened in the movie? The slave master pulled his gun, blow his head off in front of his son. That's happened to us. God said, these are the things I'm gonna cause to happen to you because you being disobedient. Okay, give me the last one. How did so-called Jamaican get into the land of Jamaica? How did the so-called Jamaican today, I said so-called because this is not our true name. How did your people get to that island of Jamaica? Trinidad, all these islands, how we get there?
By slave master. Bring it out. Slavery.
I mean, where we came from?
From Africa.
In terms of transportation. We come from the west coast of Africa.
Yeah.
What was the way of transportation?
By boat.
Was it the cruise boat? Which one?
Slave.
Slave boat. Do you think that's in the Bible? God prophesied that will happen? You think?
I believe it.
Okay, let's prove it.
Bring it out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Stop. Remember, we just left Egypt. If you know the Bible, you know that story. Did the children of Israel as a nation ever go back into Egypt after Moses delivered them from Pharaoh? Did we ever came back? No. But God said what again?
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Stop. God said, I'm going to bring you into Egypt again. We know scripturally, as a nation, after we walked through the Red Sea, Pharaoh and his army, God swallowed them in the Red Sea. We never went back as a nation. But what did God really talking about when he said, well, I'm going to bring you back into Egypt? Give me the precept. Exodus 22. Come on, man. I want you to be in your P's and Q's. Be with me. Yes, sir. That's why.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God.
God said, I am the Lord your God,
which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
I am the God that bring you out of the land of Egypt,
out of the house of bondage.
How did God call Egypt in this verse?
Bondage.
House of bondage, which is another word for
destruction.
No, bondage is another word. It starts with the S. Remember the subject we're talking? Start with the S. Slavery. That's why God said, I am the Lord your God that bring you out of the house of slavery.
Right.
That's it. Okay, now we're gonna go to the verse when he said, I'm gonna bring you back into Egypt. Are you good in math?
Yeah, you're talking about how we've reached different places in it.
If you're good in math, you go to one solution, you say E equals da, and then you're gonna replace E or X by his value in that equation. Now we're gonna replace Egypt as his value, which is slavery in that verse. Now, read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
What Egypt mean again?
Egypt is basically where the slavery.
Slavery. That's how I'm going to bring you to slavery again.
Again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Who's people that went into slavery and ship? Was it the so-called Jewish people? Where they the one, did they ever go into slavery and ship?
You break it down pretty good.
We are the one that went to slavery and ship. The so-called Haitian, Trinidadian, so-called African American, the natives, all these people, believe it or not, these Latino people, they went into slavery first before us. They were slaves in 1492 by Christopher Columbus first. They were shipped to Spain. A lot of them then don't know that story. Okay? I'm proving to you, this Bible is our history book. They're talking about black history in this country. This is true black history.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
Be strong in the Lord. His word